talk about Leo season. The sun officially entered Leo on July 22nd, and it'll stay there all the way until August 22nd. Now, I know this is a totally welcome change for a lot of us because we are just getting out of Cancer season, which can definitely be a little bit more of a sensitive or emotional time. Well, the energy is totally switching up because Leo is a fire sign. So they are definitely bringing the heat, they're bringing the spice, and this is a time of life where we are all really encouraged to put ourselves out there, be seen and heard, and roar like the lion. I am a Leo moon myself, so I'm definitely excited to see what the season has to bring. So when you think of Leo energy, you probably think of people who are confident. They are loud. They are bold. You definitely notice them as soon as they walk into a room. Some people may think they're super funny. Other people might think they're kind of crazy. But the bottom line is that they are not afraid to put themselves out there and be seen for who they are. Now, others of you guys may also think of Leo energy as one that is quite narcissistic, self-centered, putting themselves above people, or just making it all about themselves. Of course, that is a negative thing, but what Leo teaches us is the fact that being self-centered, prioritizing yourself, putting yourself over other people's needs, that is a key important trait that we all need to embrace as humans in order to thrive. It is one of the energies, traits, and behaviors that we all need to exemplify in order to live our best lives. For a lot of us, we tend to think that we are better people if we are taking care of other people over the needs of ourselves. If we are constantly tending to other people's needs or making sure that they're okay, they're feeling good, while we are neglecting our own feelings, our own emotions, our own needs by taking care of our spouse, our kids, our dog, our work, whatever it is, we all tend to think that. But the thing is, what we all need to realize is that by spending so much of our energy externally outside of ourselves, all we are doing at the end of the day is procrastinating on our own liberation. We are procrastinating on our own liberation, our own healing, and our own self-care. 2021 is a year that really empowers us to break free of our shackles, break free of anything that is not truly resonant to your soul, so that you can truly shine your authentic light and do what you were meant to do here on this earth. So that is really the mission that we are being called to step into. It is an Aquarius year, but what we need to realize is that we cannot bring in more light into our body before we release the dark, before we are willing to face our shadows, our traumas, our fears, our anxieties, our attachments, be really raw and honest with ourselves, move through them, process them, do that difficult work in order for the heavier, denser energies to leave your body. So that is why taking care of yourself, healing, self-care is truly one of the best things that you can be doing right now in order for your own liberation and for the collective liberation as well. So Leo season really gives you permission to put yourself first, prioritize yourself, because truly things cannot be right in our external world until they are right in our internal world. You guys see here, Leo is the opposite sign of Aquarius. They are always opposite each other on the chart, and so people tend to think that they're very different because Aquarius represents community, humanitarian ideals, whereas Leo really represents yourself, your heart, and being selfish in that sense. But what we all need to understand is that this is what Leo teaches us. Leo teaches us that we cannot be Aquarius. We cannot be that visionary, radical humanitarian. We cannot be revolutionary change unless we do the Leo thing first by being selfish about pursuing our own interests, by being selfish and not listening to the opinions of other people, by trusting that only we know what is best for us and that our soul will guide us to the right path, and that if we just follow the things we love, that we're passionate about, that makes us feel like the Leo child again. That is exactly how we make the most meaningful impact, because our soul chose these passions. Our soul chose our passions, what we love, what we're interested in, our talents, our skills, our unique abilities. Our soul chose all those things because they are literally shortcuts for us to take on the path towards our higher calling. We should not dismiss our art interest or our creative side hustle because they're not mainstream or they're not how you're supposed to make money. Our soul literally chose those things as shortcuts for us to take along our highest path. And so we should all do ourselves a favor by trusting the fact that doing what we love is what is going to make us money. Doing what we love is how we make a bigger impact. Doing what we love is really what our soul is born here to do. And so again, hopefully Leo season can bring healing to you guys, bring trust, confidence, and faith that the more that you kind of remove yourself from the opinions of other people and come back to what you hear here within, that is how you activate the inner fire, the inner sun that we each have that fills us with vitality, energy, and momentum towards our highest path. It is feisty Leo season, and this Leo moon is super excited to celebrate the courageous, bold, lioness energy that is Leo. I've been talking about this a little bit already. If you haven't seen my earlier chat about Leo season, then definitely check out my highlights called Leo season. But I thought in this talk, I would share 3 tips on how you can make the most of this energy through some shadow work, self-reflective work that can really help you clear blockages that are keeping you from expressing your authentic truth, being honest with yourself, being honest about your emotions, and trusting the fact that you deserve to take space and you deserve to be heard. My first tip is to remember your queendom, or kingdom, I guess, if you identify more masculine, but remember the fact that you are a queen, you are a king, you are a boss. Astrology truly shows us how we are all very regal, majestic, larger than life beings because we truly have the entire light of the sun within each of us. That's literally why our sun sign is considered so important in astrology, but we each have the power of the sun within us, and it's time to remember that with Leo season. So this is really the season to remind yourself that you are the dopest human alive. I can promise you that because we are each so beautiful on a soul level, and that is what Leo is good at, because Leo's really good at seeing what makes them great, basically, what they're good at, what they're talented at, what they have to offer to the world. I mean, that's also why Leos tend to lean more narcissistic or self-centered. But again, this is a beautiful lesson that we can learn from Leos because most of us do not take time to appreciate ourselves in that way. So for this season, I would love if everyone could take the time to write down at least 5 things that make you proud of yourself. What makes you proud of yourself? What do you think is so awesome about yourself? Take time to write down at least 5 things. And I promise you, you can definitely think of 5. It doesn't even have to be anything big. It can be as small as, I make a killer bowl of cereal, or I make a great meal, whatever it is. But we really need to train ourselves neurologically to see the best within ourselves. And again, Leo energy is empowering us to do that because we know that we each have the sun that's waiting to shine within us. Second tip for this season is to focus on your playtime and to really prioritize things that are fun for you and just enjoyable, whether they have an outcome or result or not. And with this concept, I also want to emphasize the point that we should all try our best to not take things too seriously this season, as in find a way to make difficult situations more lighthearted or more effervescent, and kind of see the brighter side of the situation rather than fixating on the bad. Now, I'm not saying this because I want you guys to bypass anything or to neglect important issues that are happening, but I feel like with the world these days, it is way too easy to get caught up in the negative fear-based energies, and we kind of forget the fact that being joyful, being happy, laughing with other people, communing with other people, all those things can be just as revolutionary as, yelling at each other on Twitter or being really angry on the streets. So I think this is a season to remind ourselves how happiness can be a revolutionary tool, and how constantly doing things that bring us joy and detaching from any entity that brings you negative energies or fear, anxiety-based energies, that is a revolution in itself. So for the season, I would really love it if you guys could take the time to write down 5 ways in which you have fun. 5 activities or sports, hobbies, interests that are just really enjoyable for you, that make you feel better after you've done them, that make you feel glad that you took that time out for yourself. So write down just 3 to 5 to 10 things, however many you like, and take some time in August to do them. Remembering that there doesn't need to be an end goal or result or outcome of any of these things. Sometimes we can even attach, the mindset of capitalism, productivity to our playtime, to our work, our fun. And so it doesn't need to be anything that brings results. It just has to make you feel better in the end. By the way, all these exercises are going to be really good to do on August 8th when we have a beautiful new moon in Leo, really giving us the opportunity to set new intentions on how we're going to be more true to ourselves. Now, my final and third tip for the season is to take some time this season to reconnect to your heart's truth. Reconnect to your truth, because Leo really reminds us that, at the end of the day, the only person who knows who you are is yourself. The only person who knows who you truly are, the only person who knows what's best for you, that is you, no one else. Of course, other people can have their opinions, they can have, their suggestions, they can have your best interest in mind, but at the end of the day, we have to remember that we are spiritual beings, we are multidimensional, we have a very wise soul that is very good at directing us towards our highest path on our own, and we don't need to let ourselves be swayed by the opinions of other people, and especially not by society, which is kind of actually trying to detract us from our soul. So again, we just need to start acknowledging the fact that only we know what's best for us, and only we can determine our next steps, our career, our relationships, whatever it might be. And you can't do that if you're constantly asking other people for advice. So for this season, I would love it if you guys could just do some self-reflection with the question of, who am I? What is your identity? What are the roles that you want to take on? And with that, I think you might want to reflect on certain roles that you really identify with yourself. Do you identify with the role of a mystic, a healer, a warrior, an empress, a detective, investigator? I'm going to be sharing some references after this in my stories about various roles that you can occupy by sign actually. So I want you guys to take a look at that and take some moments of self-reflection to think about which roles or which labels really identify and resonate with you. Now, doing these exercises are going to set you up on a really solid footing to gain more clarity on August 22nd, when we have a really beautiful, really magnetic and lucky actually, full moon in Aquarius. So full moons can bring a time of manifestation, culmination. It can also bring new insights and messages from the divine. And I think if we all take time early in the season to do this self-reflective work, to reconnect to our heart's truth, and then we'll be prepared to receive whatever abundance the universe is ready to bring to us.